While the ACT is usually the better choice for ADHD students testing with extended time, there are still some parts of the test format that can cause trouble for students with ADHD. Here are a few things to prepare for. The flexibility of 150% time administration can be great or terrible. ADHD students should prepare to track their own timing and should resist the temptation to go back and check their work after they've finished a section. There are exceptions to this, but they're too specific to try to cover in a 3-minute video. Using every second of your extended time makes for a very long day, and ADHD students are usually wiped out at the end. Managing fatigue is critical. The detail-oriented science test is last, and it can be kryptonite for ADHD kids. Again, stay on top of fatigue with breaks and snacks. The ACT loves including not and except in questions. ADHD students should circle these words when they see them so they stick in their heads. One of the most common errors our kids make is to forget that one critical word. The English test is primarily composed of questions that have only 4 answer choices. There's no real question. You're just supposed to pick the grammatically correct answer. But there are some questions that ask something specific, like which of these answers is the best transition to the next paragraph. ADHD students frequently read the question, then promptly forget it. You know it happens. And put down an answer that sounds perfectly acceptable, but doesn't answer the question being asked. On the math test, the first 20 questions are the easy ones. It's all relative, of course, but they are the questions that most students answer correctly. ADHD students are very vulnerable to making careless errors on these, just because they are easy and don't require serious attention to complete. Take your time. All questions count the same number of points, so be sure you get the easy ones right. It's less important with the hard ones, since they're like bonus points for many students anyway. On reading, be sure you reread the question before committing to an answer. After the initial read-through, you'll spend some time hunting for the information, then more time reading through the answer choices. In that time, your memory of what the question is actually asking has probably faded. Reread to be sure you answer the right question. The science section is particularly detail-oriented, and it can be especially challenging since it's the last core test section administered. Right answers frequently hinge on only a critical word or two, and they're easy to miss. Another common pitfall of the science section is the graphs and tables. It's easier than you may think to look at the wrong graph, and it's likely that one of the wrong answer choices reflects that error. You'll never know you were confused. Further, the graphs can be drawn in ways that are deliberately confusing, like having the smallest value at the top of the y-axis instead of at the bottom where you expect it. Again, it's all about the details. In general, just remember that getting tired and distracted is normal and expected, but it also means you should prepare for it. Give yourself mini breaks, bring some snacks, and don't worry if you zone out for a minute. Your brain just needed a cool down, and that's okay. Get back to work when you're ready. Good luck.